This is a very important video for all dual citizens in the United States. It's a shorter version to explain what you need to do as a US citizen who happens to be a citizen of another country, such as your home country. There were complaints about my video explaining the law behind that it was too long and too legalese. People said they didn't understand. It's going to attempt to break down in a very concise manner. If you are a dual citizen, meaning you are a US citizen and you are also a citizen of your home country, such as Ghana or Nigeria. So you are a US citizen, you're a Ghanaian citizen, you have both passports. You have your US passport, you have your Ghana passport. Or you have your US passport, you have your Nigerian passport. Or your US passport and whichever other nationality's passport, your Ivory Coast passport or Kenyan passport. What should you do when you are traveling outside? When you are traveling outside the United States, you can travel with your US passport plus a visa from that country showing that you have permission to enter the country. So you can travel on just your US passport and you can apply for a Ghana visa at the Ghana Embassy in DC or a Nigerian visa at the Nigerian Embassy in DC, and then travel to your home country with just one passport. When you get to your home country, you'll be allowed in because you have a Ghana visa to allow you entry. When you're coming back into the US and you use the same US passport to enter. Or for Ghana, you can travel with your US passport plus your Ghana card, which will act as your permission to be allowed to board the flight to Ghana. And once you get in Ghana, then Ghana immigration will also allow you to enter Ghana with a Ghana card and then your US passport, and then you can come back in with your US passport. Alternatively, you can also leave the US as a dual citizen, just your home country passport. So just your Ghana passport or your Nigerian passport or Kenyan passport, or Jamaican passport, or whatever other non-US passport that you have, you can use that to show that you have permission to go to the destination country. That's what the airline is concerned with. When you are leaving the US, it's unlawful to exit the United States as a US citizen unless you bear a US passport. Does not mean that you must always use or present your US passport when you are leaving the United States on an international trip. The law just says carry your US passport with you. You can have it in your pocket, you can have it in your hand, you can have it in your bag. If it makes you feel better, have it in your hand. It's just you're just bearing it or carrying it. You don't need to present it to the airline to comply with this law. I see that the Department of State CBP website says that US citizens must leave and enter the US on their US passport, but this is not in line with what Congress meant when it wrote that law. Okay, to arrive at this conclusion that you simply have to carry your US passport on you when you are leaving and not necessarily present it to the airline or present it to the country of destination once you arrive at their customs to gain access into the country. I looked at a number of sources. I looked at the legislative history of the law. I looked at the statutory notes. I looked at the plain meaning of the statute. I looked at legislative interpretation tools, and then I also looked at the Federal Register notice of that particular law. The conclusion is that carry your US passport with you when you are leaving the United States to go to your home country. You can use your home country's passport without a problem and you will not be violating any law. The only time you would need to present your US passport is when you're coming back inside the United States, where you have to use your US passport as a US citizen so that customs will allow you to gain entry into the United States as a US citizen. I hope this clarifies it. If you are looking for the detailed explanation of what the law says and how I arrived at this conclusion, please be sure to check out my video. Do US citizens need to use their US passports when leaving the United States? I hope this helps. I'll see you guys in my next video.